Hey guys, I wanted to do a little message for you guys today. I'm making a lot of videos right now, and this is one that I really felt like was so important and huge to share with you. And it is one of the very, very fundamental things as a coach that is probably the hardest thing for us to do, and that is sharing our why. So I want you to think really hard, and I know that if you dig deep, there is something within you that caused you to want to become a coach. And it's probably something that's really emotional or difficult or embarrassing or something within you that drives you that you're hoping this coaching opportunity will help. And we like to call that your why because it is the why behind why you're doing this. And I've made it known to a lot of you guys what my why is, but I don't say it enough because here's why. My why is embarrassing. My why makes me vulnerable. My why is something that I don't want other people to know about me. And here's how it works. When I came upon the coaching opportunity, I was a stay-at-home mom with my twins. My husband went to work every day. We had a decent house in a decent neighborhood, and from an outsider looking in, it probably looked like we had all of our ducks in a row. What they don't know is that we were struggling hard financially. It might have looked pretty put together on the outside, but that doesn't mean that behind closed doors things were really great. We were struggling extremely hard financially. We had lost a home in a short sale. And when my kids were born and had to go to the NICU and all sorts of things like that, and I had to stop working, and our expenses were more than our income, we had to go on food stamps. We had to rely on credit cards because we were too embarrassed to admit to our parents that we couldn't provide for our new babies. And that credit card debt is a black cloud that hangs over my head. So while my husband's income is enough to pay most of our day to day, until I became a coach, we literally had to ask family for help every single month to be able to pay our rent. And then I would have to figure out which bill wasn't going to get paid that month because there just wasn't anything left. It was desperate. Do I want other people to know that? Nope, not at all, because it's embarrassing to me, because it hurts me to go back to that emotional place I was in where I knew that I was home with my kids every day while my husband left to go to work, and I wasn't contributing anything financially to my family. It broke my heart that we had to wait until paydays in order to be able to buy diapers or new shoes or new clothes for my kids, or skip out on opportunities to put them in classes or play dates and things like that because there was no money there. Those are my dark skeletons in my closet. That is the why that drives me every single day that I cannot bring myself to open up about because it's so flippin' humiliating. It's hard to be vulnerable. It's hard to open up and share with people that you were that bad off and that you really didn't have your ducks in a row and you were falling apart at the seams. And so if there's anything that I could have done better or I can do better in my business as a coach, it's sharing my why more. And that's not always easy. Sometimes our why is something that's still so personal or sensitive that we just don't feel like we're brave enough to open up about it. And that's something that you could share in a private message to somebody who you see express on Facebook that they're in a similar plight. If I was to see somebody expressing frustrations about some part of their life that was part of my life before I became a coach, I could write them and say, I am so sorry you're going through this right now. Not many people know this about me, but it wasn't just a couple years ago that we were in the exact same boat. And then I decided to become a coach, and it's helping so much. Have you ever considered becoming a coach? That could be one way where I could share my why with somebody in a way that's leaving me less in the public eye, because social media is hard. It can be a huge blessing for reaching out to people and touching them with something, but it can also just leave you standing out there buck naked, feeling really, really scared for what you just posted. It could be a huge punch in the gut and leave you wanting to throw up because you just feel so naked. And I get it. And I know it's scary and I know it's hard. And if there's anything that I can say to you guys after talking to some of you and hearing more about your why, it's that we need to be brave together and share that why more. Find ways to post about your why in a way that other moms, other wives, other working moms, anybody who's like you might see that and think to themselves, oh my gosh, she's going through that too, or I had no idea, that's me too. Something where people are going to read what you wrote and they're going to think to themselves, oh wow, I need to message her. And I use the example of Kelly Segra because we went to high school together. She was sort of talking to me about Shakeology, and there was a huge, struggle with the cost, and I get it because when I signed on to become a coach, I had to use my Christmas money to buy my challenge pack, and I had to hit Success Club every single month in order to make enough money to keep getting my Shakeology and not go inactive because, like I said, we were in the point where the lights could have been turned off. There was no extra for Shakeology. I either had to make the money for it or I didn't get it. So that really pushed me. But regardless, I made a post last year about paying off one of my credit cards. And I put it on Facebook. And I literally hit publish and I wanted to go throw up. And it wasn't but just like a little while after that Kelly wrote on that post, okay, I give. Let's talk. And that was the moment where I put my why, my big, scary, freaky why out there so big that somebody else saw it and thought to themselves, that's it. I can't let this go anymore. And that's what brought on one of my top leaders in our team was that post. That raw, naked one where I'm standing out there wanting to cry. And it's never easy for me to talk about this point in my life where we were that hard off food stamps and WIC and public health clinic and selling clothes on Craigslist and furniture on Craigslist so that we had enough money to buy groceries or diapers. I remember taking things back to Target, saying that I couldn't find the receipt so that I could get store credit to buy things that we needed because we didn't have any money. I mean, do I talk about that stuff a lot? No. Would you all even know that about me? Ordinarily, probably not, because I struggle to share those things because I want to put on a front that I have this figured out and that my life's okay and that I'm somebody that other people could be inspired by. I don't find those dark, scary things about my life to be inspiring. I find them to be embarrassing. I never wanted to have my kids be born in a situation where then we had to go to public health or WIC or food stamps just to be able to buy the basics for them. Do I ever want them to know that that's how their life began? No. And I'm doing my damnedest every single day to dig us out of that. So my why for being a coach is big and scary and raw, and I need to share it more because there are other moms out there. There are other people just like me who try to paint on a pretty happy face with their makeup every single day, but when they come home and they shut the door, they're crying inside, wondering, how are we going to make it to payday? How are we going to do this? Because I was that mom. And I have a responsibility with this opportunity as a coach to pay it forward and to help other people who are in that exact same boat dig themselves out of it. And truth be told, we still have our hard months. And that's really hard for me to admit to you guys. Yes, it might look like from the outside that I have suddenly everything's better because of this opportunity. It is better. It is so much better. But it is still hard. And I am still digging myself out of those years of credit card use because that was the only way to keep us afloat. And I'm going to be continuing to dig us out of that for years to come. And now that has evolved to be my why. Paying off those credit cards, cutting them up, that is my why. And I need to talk more about it because there's probably some other people out there who need to see that there's a way that they can be home with their babies and cut up their credit cards too. So my challenge to you guys is that never forget your why, as dark and dirty and scary as it is. Share it, share it. Find ways in your day-to-day posts to be real and relatable, and be that person who, when somebody sees your post, they stop and think to themselves, okay, I have to talk to her. I can't go any longer without this. Or they think to themselves, I had no idea. She's just like me. So be that person that people connect to on an emotional level, because that is so huge and is so strong. And this opportunity really can do so much for other people, but they will never know the power behind it if you're not showing them what's possible. You don't have to have it all figured out right now. You don't have to be that perfect before and after, where before coaching, this was my life. Now, this is how grand and wonderful it is. People want real. They don't want to see something that's unattainable. They want to know the day-to-day. So if you can open up and find a way within your heart to make your posts raw and real and share your why often, I'm talking like almost once a day, find a way to pull it back to the real you. You are going to go far in this, and you are going to touch people in a way that Beachbody will become so meaningful to them that it's something they can't not do, that this is going to be the light at the end of their tunnel because of you. So you have that power and you can do it. Paige did it for me, and I'm hoping that I can help do it for some of you, and I know that you guys can help do it for others. So get out there and share that big scary why. I know it's hard, but I know you can do it.